Hello, everybody. We are joining you from a different setting. So, welcome to my dining room table where I never dine, but I do puzzles. So, I am going to be focusing on this puzzle, I think, throughout most of the sprints tonight. We'll see. I do also actually need to catch up to the Advent calendar book because basically this week reading has been on a very low scale for me. I have barely read anything, not been in the reading mood. And so, yeah, I have started this puzzle on Tuesday on the birthday of my nephew and of Jane Austen. And this is a Jane Austen puzzle, and I'm listening to Emma by Jane Austen while completing it. So, Emma is my least favorite Jane Austen. I mean, not my least favorite, I guess, because some of the unfinished ones I don't like, I guess. But like, I'm not a big fan of the character of Emma, which makes the book Emma not as enjoyable to me. But that also means that I wanted to re-listen to it now over something that I have read and listened to many, many times, such as Pride and Prejudice or Persuasion. So we are listening to Emma and finishing this puzzle in the meantime. Hopefully, I mean, finishing is saying a lot because it's actually quite difficult. But so yeah, that's what I will be doing. During the first sprint, I will also still be finishing my dinner, which I interrupted to start the sprints. I knew it was dangerous to make the lasagna because I was like, timing wise, it might like not come out very well, and that has indeed turned out to be the fact because it finished like 10 minutes ago or something like that. And then I will also be like cleaning the litter box and a few things like that still during that first sprint. But then, like, definitely for at least like half of the sprint or even more, I will be settling down here with the puzzle. Hello, Daniela. How are you doing? Definitely should read. Know the feeling. On page 43 of Sunbird. Nice. Yeah, I will really, really, really want to start the penguin lessons. Um, but yeah, Emma has snuck in because for the longest time I've been saying that I wanted to do this on the 250th birthday of Jane Austen. And I don't know which maniac side of my brain thought that I could do that in one evening, but that definitely isn't the case. So I will be continuing with that a little bit longer. But yeah, I have not been reading a lot. I have not made a lot of progress. I'm still reading The Loneliness of Sunny and Sonia as well. I was cleaning, so I only gamed for 1 hour. I was cleaning the rest of the afternoon with that in my ears, so I have like 9 hours to go, I think, in that. So yeah, we are reaching the end of that at some point. But yeah, I think we can go for our first sprint ride. It's pretty early on, but also I don't want my dinner to go cold. So we will just start the first sprinting session, and then whoever comes in after that time can join us during the first chatty break. But so let's just already go. Hello, how did we do? Well, puzzled, listened to Emma, forgot to clean the litter box, so I do have to do that within the next sprints. And yeah, I made some progress, not a whole ton on the puzzle, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. Um, and it also shouldn't be going too fast neither, because I think I'm like a quarter into Emma at this point in time. So if I go too fast, I might not be done with Emma by the time that the puzzle is done. Which ideally this is one of those magical circumstances where I finish both of them at the same time, right? Hello, Yaline. Reading Will of the Many. Enjoy. Ahoy, Tofty. Ahoy there, you puzzleness. I was catching up with day's new YouTube episodes, and lo, I saw you were live. Yes. Every Friday at 7 in the month of December. On page 70. Nice. That's some nice progress, right? That's close to 30 pages. So good job. Yeah, I don't particularly know how much I got read because I was listening to the audiobook. So yeah, I just got some probably 40 minutes or so of the audiobook done. Baby woke up to spend some time getting wait. Baby woke up, so spend some time getting her back to sleep at 29% now. Nice. I got a new book in the post today, a signed limited edition side novel in a series I already own. That was heavily reduced in price. Postage cost more than the book. Wow. Yeah, I was looking forever for my niece's gift. I was hoping to find this in a way in which I didn't need to pay for the postage. However, every single place I found it on that didn't have postage, it was just more expensive than the official site of the thing that I'm getting her. Not that she knows that I have, or like she probably knows that I have a YouTube channel, not that she ever visits it, but I'll still not say it in case she accidentally were to wander in here and hear her gifts. Because I already accidentally saying, like, accidentally is not saying a lot, but I didn't really ruin it. But I called my sister today for some advice about a gift for her husband, and he heard it through the call, even though it was not on speaker. Now, this was on his list, and I think he gets it almost every year, so I'm sure he wasn't too surprised, but still. I also got some new print magazines in the mail today too. Coverage of the indie game scenes. It's so much nicer to be sat flicking through a magazine than having a PDF on my iPad lost and forgotten. Yeah, it's just that I, for some reason, cannot seem to find the time to read in a magazine. Because all of this year I had the National Geographic Traveler as a subscription. And now I just have a pile of National Geographic Travelers. So they come out once every quarter, right? I think. So every 3 months you get one. And still I cannot keep up with that somehow. So I was actually trying to kind of go through some of them this week. And that also didn't end up happening. I read like a little bit in one of them, but I'm definitely not caught up at all to my backlog when it comes to that. So I don't know whether I should just get rid of it or whether I should look for a way to prioritize it. Maybe if I can just like add them to Storygraph, that would somehow trick my mind into considering them to be more important. I don't know. Much the same in regards to not reading magazines. I was literally years behind on my Edge Computer Games magazine, so I eventually canceled and caught up recently. Nice. I got bookstore gift card for my niece for Christmas. She then told me she's in a reading slump, so hopefully it goes away soon. Hopefully she can buy something with that gift card that is going to magically like make it disappear. Something that is like a massive page turner or something that she's just been like craving, so that this will turn out to be the perfect gifts to get her out of it. So yeah, having magazines arriving is in the danger zone of building up a massive pile. Yeah, exactly. And like now, I'll definitely start to read like an article about Hiroshima because the plan is to go to Japan next year. So I should definitely at least like go through them and see if there's much like Japan content in them and kind of prioritize getting through those articles. But yeah. And I picked up the books for my mom today. I'm giving her The Husbands and the 13th Tale in Czech. Nice. Yeah, I have books for three people in my life. The rest is gonna be different stuff. But yeah, three people are getting a book, which they will already have assumed because I typically always give them a book. Though sometimes it becomes more difficult because of the fact that, like, my dad, for example, loves crime and detectives, and you guys know that I don't read that at all. So this is like my blind spot. And so finding a book in that genre for me is like, where am I? What are these books? I add all of my magazines to the story graph. I have created many new series of magazines on there because I like everything I read to be listed on the story graph. Exactly. Japan. Yes, that's a big plan indeed. We never buy gifts for Christmas, so I didn't have to search for good gifts. We do always get something for ourselves and cannot open the packages until Christmas Eve. That's lovely. Yeah, we are a very small family, so like, and when I say that, I mean like both of my parents are single kids, so our only kids, our only children. That's Is that how you say that in English? So basically, the most it has ever been was like 7 people. Actually, now it is. No, it's also 7 people again now. So yeah, so I think the most that it has always been at like seven at the most. So that has led to it being our tradition. Where I think in a lot of like massive families, it's more likely to not be the tradition that you get gifts for everybody because there's just too many people to get gifts for. And because our family has always been so small, it's always just like been like that we just give gifts to everybody. Back when I lived at home, I would give my mother a list of vinyl records to get from an indie record store where I live. She went in and looked very lost, so an assistant would jump out to help. That reminds me of something really cute. So I was going into this store today to get like the gift for my brother-in-law, and then there was this kid, and he must have been like, I don't know, 13 years, 14 maybe at most. And he was just like asking the cashier, like, yeah, do you have anything nice to go with this? And I just thought it was so cute to see these like young kids going out to get something probably for their parents. Hi, I got my mom King Sorrow by Joe Hill yesterday. She's a Stephen King fan, but everyone knows that and beats me to get her his books. So I switched to his son, and it's worked out. See, with my dad, I tried to have sort of a strategy of like buying him a first book in a series. And when he enjoys it, I could then continue on. However, my dad, when he enjoyed the first book in the series, then bought all six remaining books in that series. And I was like, well, and this year, when the new Brandon's, no, not Brandon Sanderson, when the new Dan Brown came out, I was like, it comes out in September. Perfect. My dad's birthday is in September. No, not perfect. My dad pre-ordered that book. So there's like no option for me to just like prepare for his gift, I guess, because the only way of preparing for his gift is to try and remember the name of the authors that he does like, and then like ask my mother which ones he already has and has read, because luckily he keeps on sort of a list apparently. Because yeah, he also buys books for himself and quite frequently. So I cannot just like go like that. One of those vinyl records was by a band called Pink Cream 69, and I'm not making that name up. Exactly. Their vocalist ended up joining Halloween later on. 80s, 90s hair, and power metal stuff that I like. Okay. My niece gave my brother The Mountain Is You last year, which I found quite funny. The Mountain Is You. That I don't know at all. Yes, Joe Hill is Stephen King's son. Exactly. Yep, one of them. His other son, Owen, allegedly writes too. Does he publish as well, or is it just like a sort of like inside myth that he probably has something out there that we don't know about. Trying to remember the names of favorite authors sounds like paying close attention to random mutterings looking for that gold. I mean, he always kind of circles back to talk about the book that I gave him and whether he enjoyed it. Um, and so, like Robert Harris, I know he enjoys, and I am, but the problem is my own memory as well, where I will then forget which books I've already given. And this is a huge problem with my mother as well, because my mother really likes Elif Shafak, who I also really like. But when I'm getting her a book by Elif Shafak, I'm like, wait, which ones have I already given at this point in time? So the last time I looked for like one of her earliest published works, like I have not read this book. I have definitely not given it to her. But the next time I think I'll just have to like have a peruse through her library at some point very far away from her birthday, in order to just like remember which ones, because she's also kind of always expecting it to be an Alif Shafak book now, because like when I gave her the book last time, she was like, oh, I was hoping it was going to be an Alif Shafak book. And the previous time, Alif Shafak had just come out with a new book, and then she was like, oh, I was so hoping for you to give me this book. So I think that the expectations are quite high. I hope she will not be disappointed this Christmas, because it is not going to be an Alif Shafak book. Halloween, not Halloween. I mean, it sounds the same when I say it. Autocorrects. It's a self-help book telling you that you're in your own way instead of all the other things. Yeah, that is a cheeky gift. He does publish. His books are just not loved. Okay, well, I mean, I don't love Stephen King's books either, so maybe I should give Owen's books a go. Maybe I will like those. I did not know any of that about the King family. Joe Hill wrote under a pseudonym intentionally, so he wouldn't write on his father's coattails. I mean, a lot of people now know that he's Stephen King's son, right? But I have never read anything by Joe Hill. I will say that my dislike for Stephen King books makes me not inclined to read Joe Hill. So in that regard, writing under a pseudonym would also be a smart thing, because yes, it can be, you don't want to have the association with your father be the reason that you're read or like that you're selling, but also it can work in the other way, clearly. Take a picture of the shelves and zoom in tightly. Yeah, of my parents. Yeah. King Sorrow sounds like an interesting book, but it's not a genre I usually read. Is that the new Joe Hill? Because that was marked as a fantasy, right, within the Goodreads Choice Awards. But it's massive, I think, as well, right? I like the 2 Joe Hill books I tried. Okay. Good for him establishing himself independently first. I can respect that. Yeah. Didn't try anything of King with exception of the Dark Towers. Yeah, Jesus. Didn't like that series, but he's written too much. I mean, there's definitely some things, like, I mean, I like The Shining, which is like the one thing I liked. The issue is just that his endings really suck. This guy just cannot write an ending. And when you're reading like a 800-page book to then have a sucky ending, when for me the ending really makes or breaks a book a lot of the time, it just really frustrates me. But yeah, The Dark Tower, I tried to read that first book 3 times, and at this point in time I have to be like, no, don't try it again, because you know that this is not working for you. Sorry, just saw a piece of a puzzle that I had been looking for. But let's break up this little chatty bit and go for another sprinting session. Yep, about half of King's books fall apart in the third act. Yeah, I think if I want to still try another King, it'll have to be something early like Misery or Carrie, or maybe Pet Sematary. That could, like, I think the earlier his works, the more likely, but I'm strictly basing that off of the fact that I like The Shining. I read a discussion of King Sorrow on Andrew Lipbeck's Transfer Orbit newsletter. Nice. But so it's not a fantasy. That's what you're saying, right? Because you said that it's a genre that you don't read a lot. Is it then another book in the Goodreads Choice Award, or are they just wrong about their genre definitions, which they also often are? Break up this little chatty bit. All your pals on the socials rocked up and started blathering away because we recognized each other's handles. I mean, I'm very happy because during the first sprint, at some point, I looked up and I saw that there was like nobody there, and I was like, I had that sort of like panic moment of thinking, what if nobody is there when the chatty bit arrives? And I just have to like talk to myself on camera and be like, hello, is anybody there? But I need to go and clean the litter box. So let me start the sprint and see you guys in 45. Welcome back. We are making further progress in the puzzle, and I am eh, 3 hours in the audiobook for Emma, so a third of the way. Eh, I remember. Ugh, I remember your first ever sprint from way back in the day. Wow, I don't. I definitely made a point of rocking up then to make sure it wasn't empty. Nowadays, I happen upon you already broadcasting like today. Yeah, normally there are people, and so it's definitely like less of a worry now. But like sometimes when I see that the number is low, it's like please don't leave me. I'm going to read my Advent prompt book story right now. Good. Hello, Kitty. You made it. Still catching up on my YouTubes of the day. Good. Cleaned the kitchen and on page 95. Nice. There were distractions and I made coffee, but I finished my story. Good on you. Yeah, I need to read 3 chapters today in principle in my Advent calendar book to be caught up. So that's not good because during sprints I'll definitely just be working on the puzzle, I think. Though I am starting to feel it in the body a little bit, so maybe I do have to stop during the next sprint to relieve my shoulder a little bit from this tension. I tweeted about my new indie game magazine on social, and there's a bit of drama about folks not getting their copies. One guy got to have a whinge in a reply. Okay. Yeah, I still don't have my copy of the Blackfire Blade, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm still hopeful. I mean, I will definitely won't have it before Christmas at this point in time, but I'm still really anxiously awaiting for it to come because even though I've already read it, I just want to observe the beauty in person. I'm reading Women's History, a book I'm actually allowed to finish today or tomorrow. Nice! So, how much do you then have going on at the same time? Because I watched your vlog today, but I gotta admit that I don't even know how many you're reading at the same time. Also, I thought I would have a good hour of reading on the train, but then the loudest people in the world sat right next to me. That's the most annoying. Like when you're going onto the train, you're trying to find a place where you can conveniently sit and read, and then people come and sit next to you and just talk like crazy. And I also cannot like focus at all. Like even if they're a little bit further away, if like they were like really loud, then sometimes it's also really difficult to just like focus on the book instead of on what they are saying. Several folks on their Discord complaining about not getting copies, but they appear to be in Europe or USA. It seems they ship out from the EU to avoid self-imposed UK trade sanctions. I kind of hope that the Pro Combining at one point will do so as well. That would also bring down shipping costs a little bit, I guess. I think you should be allowed to finish a book if after a spin there's less than 100 pages left. Otherwise, it sounds too painful. Yeah, when you first introduced the spin idea, I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I should have done that. But now I'm like, you know what? My method allowed for me to just be like, okay, I'm most vibing with this particular book. So most of my focus would go to that book and it makes like slow progress over in the other ones along the way, but just like really focusing on one book at a time that I was just like really wanting to get along with. And so that also to some extent was much easier. I think the wheel spin is very fun for us and also some excitement for you, of course. But when it comes to having so many books that you have under 100 pages to go, that is a real downside. I was so pleased with my new magazines that I ordered some more. They have 13 issues so far, released every couple of months. I got the first 2 issues to sample first. Yeah, that's definitely the best way to go. Like, first sample a few. UK trains often have a quiet carriage, but of course, inconsiderate people do not care at all. Yeah, we also have silent carriages, but you know, there are always people who do not want to see it, you know. Like, sure, it is to some extent a little bit discreet, the sort of like labeling for the fact that it's a quiet carriage, but it is also, there's so many signs to it that at least after a while you should see that it has like a sign on that says like please be quiet in here or something like that. I'm reading 11 books right now. Okay, 9 for the project. Yeah, that's still a lot at the same time. Quiet carriage is really a wild card. Either people talk loudly and nobody cares, or once somebody complained they can hear someone's music from their earphones. Okay, I wouldn't complain about that. I mean, it would have to be like super loud, but to come from earphones, like it'll always be like just like mild, right? So I wouldn't really complain about that. But yes, like the talking loudly is just like, okay, great. I was just watching a booktuber unboxing their just arrived broken binding copies of Jimenez's The Vanished Birds. Very excited by this arrival. The broken binding still doing it, I guess. I mean, yes, they have amazing copies. But yeah, there was just something that went wrong with the Blackfire Blades, with the registration for European shipments. And unfortunately, because Belgium has such high import fees, I couldn't just pay it and have them reimburse me, because they requested that if the shipping cost is higher than if the import cost is higher than the shipping cost, they requested to reject it. And yeah, the Belgian fee is already higher than the shipping cost is, so. I just have 4 books on the go simultaneously, mostly in different rooms of the house. I think currently I have The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny, my Advent Calendar book, and Emma, so 3 at this point in time. I think during the whole TBR Zero, I haven't read multiple books at once. Yeah, it's a different strategy, though, but I always tend to have at least 2 at the same time, just because I'm always listening to an audiobook for the commute. And that means that like either I only have the audiobook going, but very often I'll have a physical book going, and then it'll be like, oh right, I need a new book for my commute because I need to be able to listen to something on my commute. I've only sampled a handful of the broken binding editions. Do you think that one might get to the point of having so many the broken binding editions that they lose their magic? I mean, I don't necessarily think that their editions are that much better than other subscriptions. It just always depends kind of on the art style and things like that. For example, I'm personally not a big fan of their editions for The Will of the Many and The Strength of the Few. It's not my vibe. And I definitely think that there are certain editions that I've had from other subscription services that I've absolutely loved. But yeah, I do definitely love that the broken binding works quite frequently now with Jeff Brown, who I think is my favorite illustrator. So that's definitely a plus. I get fed up carrying my books upstairs to bed, downstairs to read during the day, up, down, every day. Yeah, I just have to move like one room. Behind this wall is my bedroom, so I really don't have to move all that much between the bedroom and the living room. Apparently, the last time I listened to an audiobook was July. Wow. Yeah, you're a big. I have a piece of the edge, my final border piece. Hallelujah, the border is complete, finally. Yeah, you like music a lot, right? So I am like, it's not like I dislike music, but I'm just like quite indifferent to music. I don't really have like a lot of all times faves or stuff like that, and I didn't really have the habit of listening to the radio and stuff like that. So I also don't really tend to listen to music when I am commuting. I used to do it when I was still driving the car to work, but I just did it because that was the only option I thought I had until I discovered how to play audiobooks on my commute. And then I had like an hour of audiobooks every day that I could listen to when my commute was longer. Now it's just half an hour. But then I was like, yes, amazing. Getting so much more progress in my book that way. And I just also really do enjoy audiobooks, but I need to learn to let go of an audiobook experience when my mind cannot really focus on it. And that is something that I still haven't really mastered, to kind of give up on it and be like, okay, this is not going to work out in the audiobook format, because my brain just cannot keep paying attention to it. We prefer opposing covers for The Will of the Many and The Strength of a Few. I remember Jeff Brown does banging covers. I recognize his work from a distance now. Yeah, exactly. Like, when very often when I see a cover, it's like, that's the Jeff Brown, right? Yes. And then I'm like, now I need it. Okay, I need it. For example, the Magician trilogy by Raymond D. Feist. I probably did not need the series, but Jeff Brown did the edition, so I was like, yeah, maybe I do need it now. So we'll see if I can let go of them if I don't like these books. Let's just hope that I do like them, surprisingly. I always have an audiobook going. Yeah, I also definitely very often have. Yay for closed borders in puzzle context. Yes, open borders all the way when it comes to not the puzzle context. Could not live without an audiobook. Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, it's amazing on the commute. I love the fact that it makes the hurdle of like cleaning and cooking less, because then it's like, okay, I can make that more enjoyable by listening to an audiobook. And then there are those books where I'm just struggling physically. Granted, I should probably DNF in those cases, which ended up happening with Crossroads of Ravens in the end. But then an audiobook can also be a really nice way of getting through them. Big music boy here. I'm listening to songs constantly when I need to concentrate on something. When I can direct more attention away from a background task, I prefer podcasts. Yeah, no, I don't. I really don't. And also at work, like, when my focusing time is just like the background noise of the office, but no like music or anything like that. And I don't need music to be able to focus. For example, I have some colleagues who will have like a music on in their headphones in order to be able to more easily focus and drown out the background noise. But I think for in the majority of times, I can easily like zoom like filter it out, unless I'm at some point, mainly when my brain is struggling to comprehend. And then it's like, then my filter doesn't work as well. It's very cool that so many authors get an outlet through all the many the Broken Binding special editions. Exactly, but that also just like the special editions, they're definitely, I guess, what I do like about the Broken Binding. um Maybe not for all. I get, is this the case for the new one? Probably not, right? For the new subscription, but that for the fantasy subscription, you do get to see like the mock-ups for the editions ahead of time. Because I will say that when it comes to Illumicrate, probably some of my editions, I would have been more readily ready to skip them if I had known what they would like end up looking like. Because some just have an art style that does not work for me, and then it's like, yeah, okay, I would never have gotten this art style and actually prefer the original. Cleaning, cooking, gardening is for podcasts. Computer work needs music. Cannot write documents with people talking in the background. Yeah, I don't need to do a lot of document writing, though I did do that yesterday most of the day, and then people were talking. So yeah, I don't really have any issue with that, it seems. Yeah, cleaning without an audiobook does not happen in this household. Also, long drives, like going home for Christmas next week. Yeah, I don't really drive, so I don't really have that. But I did over the summer when we went to the Balkans. I did introduce this idea of us listening to an audiobook together, because I knew that she had started listening to audiobooks as well on her commute. So I was like, okay, maybe we can listen to one together. Let's listen to Murderbot for no particular reason. Yeah, I need music to focus. Background noise is too distracting. Radio is too distracting because of the people talking. I have to choose my task for podcasts. Yeah, even people speaking, that's really really fine, because I actually have YouTube on a lot of the time when I'm working from home, And to be clear, I'm not actually paying attention to the YouTube videos most of the time. So it is more of a, I mean, you get my statistics of like me watching your video, you get that boost. But in terms of me actually knowing what you've said during that time, I'm sorry, my brain is just focusing on my work. Since I'm not a fancy hardback guy, I prefer to pick and choose when I will swoop on the broken binding. I recently ordered the new Tchaikovsky's Children of Strife to go with my other three Children of Time sets. Nice. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. I've talked about this in a video about my subscription services for 2026. I do think I'm gonna get the Illumicrate for the first 3 months actually, because those books do interest me. But we'll see. We'll see what I do after that. And the Broken Binding, the fantasy one I'm getting because I've read the first two books in that series. And the new one I'm getting because I fear that I probably cannot skip. And I do want to give that author a go, but then I'm also like, this is the reason that I should stop saying yes to these books, because I'm like, yeah, sure, I want to give that a go. But then afterwards, when I'm disappointed by the book, I'm like, why did I spend my time on this? So we'll see how 2026 goes. I am planning to have this sort of like spur of the moment decision making going into 2026, though I have to say that it's also not grown great in December, but that's also because this week I've basically had no sort of like reading motivation. Should probably just DNF the book that I'm listening to, not Emma, but the other one. So yeah, that also just gives me the idea that I'm like, yeah, I was supposed to be reading only what I wanted to be reading, and now I'm still reading stuff that I'm not really enjoying all that much. So live and learn. I have to pay at least some attention to YouTube so folks can get a related comment out of me. It proves at least it's wait. It proves at least some attention. And like if your comment is related, yeah. And I gotta say I've been really bad about that recently because I've been watching YouTube, but I've definitely not been commenting. And I know as a creator how important it is to comment and how much it brightens my day to leave a comment. But recently, yeah, I have not. I've really been in a little bit of a funk this week. Finally made a thumbnail for the video that went live on Wednesday, that went live without an actual thumbnail for the first 2 days then. And today I finally gave a thumbnail to it. I have not closed out the vlog that should have ended last week, last Sunday. I have not started a new vlog this week. So, yay. Yeah, Cleo, how important it is. Yeah, sorry, Kitty, I've watched your video. I've watched multiple of your videos and been like, I should leave a comment. And I'm pretty sure I probably never left any on any of those videos. It is definitely important. I know, I know. I also am always like hoping for more comments, just because I love getting to respond to comments and getting to see people engaging with my content. But not this time. Hopefully, I'll soon be out of this weird little funk when it comes to that. But yeah, I already have next Wednesday's video prepared, so that should also hopefully give me a little bit more sort of like grace throughout this weekend in terms of content creation. Just need to finally finish that vlog then. And yeah, I should probably film that video about the year of the emoticon, right? But that has also not happened. And on that happy note, let's go into another sprint. Hello. I think we shall go to the final sprint next, because I see it's already 10 o'clock. But how did you all do? It is beginning to look a lot fuller. So the bottom is definitely quite full. The top section I definitely still need to work on. So that definitely also means that this book is not going to be done when I finish this puzzle, because I am not even halfway through. Which is why I probably should not have chosen Emma, because Emma is probably one of the bigger Jane Austen books. So probably was smarter to choose another one, but hey. And you heard correctly, yes. Rumor has it. I want to start the end of the year content tomorrow. Oh, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I don't have any, but actually my Wednesday video is an end of the year video to some extent. Beginning of the new year content, I guess, more likely. Um, but yeah, end of the year content I like to watch, but I guess for some reason not really excited about it myself. Like I'm not excited about like the best books list or the worst books list. Just like I hate making those decisions. Which is why last year I just never made those videos. A book published in 2020 writing about Roe versus Wade. Don't know if I can read that or whether it is too painful. Yeah, I can imagine. An action that changed the future for American women, brought by a woman and fought by women for women without the intervention of men. Intervened. They did, exactly. Hello, how are you doing? Good, good. I'm doing well. Working on a puzzle here. My hand is starting to hurt. But I'm also like I feel like I'm so close to it. It's probably still gonna take me the entire next sprint, though. We're getting to the point where I feel like there are less pieces, though. There is still a lot in here, so it's probably just like a visual, like I don't know, optical illusion or whatever, how we want to say that. So it's probably not that easy after all. Work things intervened in me trying to do more reading. Ugh, work, go away. I read a little bit of my current nonfiction. It's the Blake's 7 production diary series B, and it's a whopper, full size hardback with tons of photographs and documentation. Okay. Like Blake the artist. Scoffing a chocolate bar which is named Crunchy Biscuit, mellow and moreish blonde chocolate given an added hit of texture and depth with addition of chocolate coated biscuit pieces. Sounds rich. On page 126, I can't read anymore. You've read 100 pages, right? I think you started at like 24 or something like that, so you absolutely deserve a break. Ooh, and now my dog tells me I have to walk her. I may be back later, but if not, bye bye. Thank you for being here and have a nice little walk. This is why I don't have dogs, because I don't need to walk my cat. Though it would probably be good for me if I had a pet that actually forced me to do that, but luckily I don't. But yeah, I am, as you know, listening to Emma again, and yes, I'm reminded of all of the annoying things about Emma as a character. Because yeah, we're definitely at my least favorite section of the novel now, which I'm actually surprised takes this long for us to get to, because I have completely forgotten. Like I also like I don't like the character of Emma, so I also don't watch a lot of Emma stuff. So I've seen the adaptations. I liked the new adaptation, for example, but I don't really know the story as well and the chronology as well as I do like Persuasion. My eyes are also falling shut. I will get ready for bed next. Good. The socials are right now ripping up with the announcements that the SFWA is allowing. Wait, LLM generated stuff or something. Wait, SFWA. Sci-Fi Women Association? Or what? Or no, not self-published. LLM. Jesus. I do not. No, I don't know. Bussy would just eat the puzzle pieces. Well, I mean, I think Fate is too old to get onto the table anymore. So this was not an issue before neither. She would just like sleep on this puzzle before, but she also just doesn't. She cannot get onto the table anymore. So it's also not really an issue. Science Fiction's Writer Association. Sorry, when I see W, it's women for me. And a large language model. Okay, so AI. Yeah, I mean, I should have known that, I guess. Um, so for the Nebula Awards, but they allow like fully generated LLM stuff. I mean, not that I know um, whether limited things would be okay or not, but yeah, I would have to read up on it a little bit. But yeah, AI. I use AI, of course, for my work. It's a great help for my work. But yeah, it should not be used for the artistic stuff, the creative stuff. This is not the AI dream that we were sold, right? But I gotta say, it's an absolute lifesaver for my work when I'm doing like coding or looking for how to do certain stuff in SAP and stuff like that. Before you had to like scroll through those SAP like chat rooms basically to try and find a solution, and then it was often like not exactly the scenario that you're trying to look for. So in that regards, AI is really helpful. uh it's proper kicking off just now. Okay, okay, a whole discussion, today's drama. Yeah, I just read that this year AI uses as much water as a bottled water consumption of the globe. Yeah, that's also so sad. I find that mainly to be so sad when you see these trends of like AI generated images, like, you know, the Ghibli thing and whatever, because like a lot of people are just using it without like even thinking about it or without even being aware of it. And the being aware of it, I think, is already like so damaging that people aren't aware of it. What's more damaging is like that, you know, you don't actually see these consequences of using AI, and so a lot of people are also sort of like this, you know, like the, how do you call that, like they don't really like see the direct link between their action and the environment, and so you don't even they don't even take it into account or don't even consider it. It's just like, oh yeah, yeah, they whatever they say that it's like bad for the climate or whatever. So I do like, I only use AI for my work where it is definitely very useful, but when I see certain uses for AI, I'm just really like, really seriously, is that what we're using this tool for? Like, I definitely get that it's an amazing tool, but yeah, the uses should just be specific. You know, coding, very good for coding. Some parts of Emma were slightly tedious, yes. She really went there with the bizarre characters and dialogues. Yeah, I mean, I do like the the characters and stuff like that, but like the Frank Churchill part, I'm just like, must we, must I see this fall down of like, I don't even like the character of Emma, but I don't want to see her crash and burn section either. I think it's gonna burn the world down before it can kill us. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, of course. So, I mean, good thing is that, you know, we might we might not have to deal with AIs and robots trying to kill us, or maybe this is like the next wave. You know, once we've are extinct, like then like the AI that we have generated will like become the next inhabitants. Wasn't yesterday's drama on the social Larian drafting things for their new video game, for their next video game with these generating machines? I don't know, I don't follow much of the gaming news, but yeah, that is just like the annoying thing. It's like this AI actress which is also just like, and then like so many movie studios like trying to recruit the AI actors, and he was like, please, why are we using AI for this? I mean, of course, we're using AI for everything, and the curiosity of humans is just like, oh, let me see if I can do this with it. Oh, let me see what it would say to that. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the resources for the amount of things we're asking of it, and the scale in which people are thinking about when it comes to the future of AI. I don't use Gen AI at work. Don't think it would be that useful. It's highly restricted in our corp. Really, yeah, we have like Copilot licenses, so to protect our data in it. So we are supposed to only use Copilot, though I know that a lot of colleagues are using like ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity instead. I have never knowingly used these generated Gov machines that I know of. Yeah, it's only been quite recently, but I like it is so helpful when you were stuck on like a Power BI or a Power Automate flow or something like that. Then ChatGPT or like Copilot in my case is definitely very helpful. And it is also super handy in the day to day of our work. If there weren't this whole sort of like, oh, I didn't pause the time. If there wasn't this whole sort of environmental impact for it, then yes, it would. It's like, yeah, use it because it is super handy when it comes to like finding back documentation, for example, finding the place that has the answer, or doing backup for other people and being able to just like have the search like the AI instrument being able to guide you in that. So there are very useful applications for it, except it uses so much. We were required to sign up for Copilot licenses at my place too, but I've never used it. Oh, really? Yeah, we're definitely not required because they are quite expensive. So it is more like I was in a pilot program at my office to see if we could have uses for using these AI tools. So I have a Copilot Pro license as a consequence of that, of being part of that project. But definitely need like a business case if you want more people to have it, because they restrict every possible license. Like I don't have an Adobe license, which is very sad because I miss my Adobe license a lot. But that having been said, the timer is now at a little bit of a shorter period, but actually that's fine. I think we can do with just like 38 minutes. That is also fine for our final sprint. I'm just old and tired with technology. My home computer went pop the other day. They date back to 2013, 2015, so my hardware is old because I've lost internet. Wow. Yeah, I definitely think mine is newer. This laptop, I don't know. This laptop, it might be that age. My desktop is definitely newer. COVID times. But so, let's get started on the final sprint, and let's see each other in 38 minutes. All right. That did not finish the puzzle. I definitely still have some, like, I don't know, 100 puzzle pieces in there or something like that. So, yeah, we're not done yet, but I'm almost there. In terms of the book, yeah, we are closing in on getting to the halfway point. So maybe I can do like half of this puzzle, but half of the book while doing all of this puzzle, I guess, in the end is going to be the conclusion, I guess. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, but there are definitely like this always happens when you make a puzzle. You always get to this stage where you have pieces where you're like, is this even part of this puzzle? So there are some pieces that really make me go like, I don't see this character on the artwork that I have over there. And probably by the end, I'll be like, oh, right, how could I look over that? But yeah. I use my iPod all the time now. So yeah, I used to like I had a iPad, but I didn't actually use it all that much. I'm back. Wasn't a long walk. She's an old lady. Some days she walks for kilometers, some days she walks meters. Yeah, gotta respect her pace. I want to continue reading my telebox show production diary book. I want to watch the new episode of Pluribus, and I want to watch some more of the Walking Dead show that I'm working on. Yeah, I am back on Downton Abbey and in the 5th season now, so I'm making progress on that. Um, but yeah, with Downton Abbey, there are also like some movies here and there, so I probably have to start figuring out where those fit into the whole timeline, so that I don't like proceed beyond where I have to, like that I don't go further in the series without watching the movie in between. So many things to do on a Friday night, exactly. Hello, Judith. How are you? Crocheted some wheels for the Christmas blanket. Almost done, hopefully. Are you planning on going again next week? I understand there may be other events occurring. I am going again next week. I don't have any plans for Boxing Day. Like back when I was a young kid, we did have plans for Boxing Day. We would always go to my mother's like best friend. But yeah, aside from that, I don't really have any plans. I'm off all week, and it is not a bank holiday here, so Boxing Day is like typically just like the day that you go to the other side of the family, basically, I guess. And in my case, that is non-existent, so I have the time to just do whatever I want. So I will be sprinting again at 7 o'clock, and then for the final sprints, so the sprints in which we will be closing out the readathon and dedicating a winner, that will happen somewhere in January. I guess I still have to make a poll or something for it to find a timing that works best for everybody, because that, of course, is a little bit more difficult to plan into these days, but it will be somewhere either the 2nd, the 3rd, or the 4th, probably, of January. But so, thank you guys for being here. Wait, let me see if you guys have said anything else. That's I already answered. One of my Lego builders whom I follow on the socials got himself a new Lego kit today. 5,200 p. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't want it, but I do think it looks really cool. I was just reminded of this when I looked over your shoulder. Yeah, yeah. This is the other side. Whoa, and now I'm in its light. But yes, this is the Lego cupboards. These are my Lego sets. I mean, part of them. There's also the Baradur one is standing elsewhere, and the Millennium Falcon is in another room. I have absolutely nothing going on all next week, so I shall try to remember to check in. If I follow my usual schedule, I'll be checking YouTube. Yeah, I don't have much going on except for, of course, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But aside from that, it will just be the whatever I decide to do in the moment. This is actually also a lie, because this Sunday I have a full day of going to the zoo, and there's like a light spectacle in the zoo as well that I'm going to visit. Made it to bed, so tired. Listening to a bit of the Afterlife of Holly Chase. I had Afterlife of Holly Chase I was also kind of hoping to get to this month. we'll see. We'll see. I do have a lot of time now, of course, because I don't have 8 hours of working day to get through for 2 weeks. Hallelujah. But so we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I still need to finish my two current reads and start and finish Penguin lessons, and then I can choose something else to read. But so yeah, thank you guys for being here. Hope you had fun and got something done, whether it's reading or something else. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, hope you have a lovely time over the special days of next week, whether you participate or not. And see you guys next week on the 26th, if you are able to, and read you in the Discord between now and then. But yeah,